Hello, my name is Detroit Miracle, and something else has me really irritated and fired up. Because the other day I read and looked at a post on social media that showed an MMA mixed martial arts female combatant all beaten up. She was battered and bruised. Then next to her picture, it said that a transgender did that to her, meaning it was a guy that had converted to female or being a female, and he was allowed to fight her in that match, which I felt was unfair because if you are a guy and you convert to a woman, you still have the same strong muscle fibers, you still have stronger bones than a woman, regardless of you growing your hair long or throwing on wig and makeup. And and I'm not saying that people shouldn't have a right to choose to be transgenders because I feel you have the right to choose to do whatever you want as long as you're not really hurting yourself or hurting others. But in this case, the the fight was obviously set up and regulated by whatever boxing or MMA organization that did it, and it didn't seem like something that a rational minded person would sanction in the first place. Because think about it. Did they let Mike Tyson fight women? Did they let Floyd Mayweather fight women? Did they let Sugar Ray Leonard fight women? Did they let Tommy Hearns fight women? Did they let Jack Dempsey fight women? Did they let Rocky Marciano fight women? You get my point? So that in boxing and in karate and mixed martial arts is usually set up where same-sex combatants will fight each other because it's a little bit fairer and more on the even keel, even though there are those in those same-sex sports that dominate each other or they dominate others because they have very rare and special abilities, but at least it makes more sense than putting men up against women in competitions where men are proven to be more dominant. And I'm going to say the same thing. It would be unfair to put guys in women's sports where women would be proven more dominant because the women would be proven to have a more decisive advantage over the guys. But come on, in cases where it involves wrestling, boxing, mixed martial arts, and karate, y'all know y'all can't sanction no fights that would allow men to fight women. And that was an indicator the other day regarding that post I seen. It said that woman had her skull caved in or crushed, and she was badly beaten up. She was bruised, and she looked it terrible. And and how is that any different from a domestic violence incident where you would have a guy that beat up on a woman? Now we all know that that ain't right. And if we all know that full well, then why would those fight promoters sanction that fight in the first place? Why would they sanction other fights? Now I take my hats off to those women. I really do. Because they were brave enough to step in the ring with those men and fight them, and they fought back tooth and nail. So they were probably trying to send a clear sign that we're not going to take abuse from men. And if guys put their hands on the women, then they're going to fight them back. They were probably trying to send that message, and they did. So they stood in and they took it on the chin and they dealt out as much as they can deal out. But it's only so much you can do and it's only so much you can take. And that was a clear indication that that fight should never have happened and other such fights shouldn't happen. Because it sets a bad example there because that's not fair. Now, there might be sports where men can take on women And some of them might be full contact, but not when it comes to boxing, karate, and mixed martial arts, because guys are proven to be stronger than women there. It's as simple as that. Like, go and watch any sparring session between a dude and a female, and you will get the indication that the guy is more dominant. And I'm not trying to sound sexist, macho, and egotistical by overly stating the fact, but that's true. So now you know that even if somebody says, hey, I want to become a transgender boxer, I want to fight women instead of men, well, that shouldn't happen simply because they decided to change their sexual orientation to female. And if there's a woman who says she wants to be a guy and take on men boxers, she shouldn't be allowed to do that because they don't have the genetics to do so. They do not have the bone strength and muscle fibers strong enough to sustain that kind of punishment and deal out enough punishment to make it a fair contest. Well, this is Detroit Miracle. All of y'all are more than welcome to subscribe to my channel. And if y'all enjoyed this video, please leave a comment in the comment section as well as a like.